Tips and tricks for Among Us. Among Us has suddenly become one of the most popular games across the world. The game was launched back in 2018, but the COVID-19 pandemic has made the game a hit. During the various lockdowns around the globe, many popular influencers like Chance Morris, PewDiePie, James Charles, and more began streaming the game to millions of people, after which it has instantly transformed into a cult hit. So, what exactly is Among Us? Among Us is a multiplayer game where 10 players are dropped into an alien spaceship, sky headquarters, or planet base, where each player has either a crewmate and an imposter private role. This is an online social deduction multiplayer game where either a crewmate or an imposter can be a player. One can play the game with their chosen friends online or on local Wi-Fi. How do you play the game? Basically, Among Us is a survival game where you either have to vote off all the imposters and complete all the tasks, and the imposter has to destroy or stop all the crewmates from completing the tasks designated to win. Your job is to locate the imposter if you are assigned a crewmate. Of course, it's a lot more fun being an imposter as you can deceive and kill your mates. An imposter must kill the crewmates to make sure that nobody is able to get out of the locations. Other players from the location can also be voted off by players. Notice that you can also choose to have several imposters if you have a large number of players. Until the death is confirmed, no crew member can communicate when performing tasks. The crew gets a chance to vote and root out the imposter when someone dies. Now, here's some tips and tricks to become a master in playing Among Us. Number 1. Complete your tasks. This may sound obvious, but it's easy to get caught up in the game and forget that you have goals to focus on. Depending on the settings that your game host has selected, there's a variety of long and short tasks. Fortunately, these tasks are as easy as punching numbers on a keypad or pulling those leaves into a vacuum. When you observe a suspicious behavior, remain alert, but try to keep your eyes on the award to place pressure on the imposters. And most importantly, don't ignore sabotage events. If an imposter is sabotaging the station, you may have to rush to a specific room to fix the malfunctioning equipment. If the entire team ignores the O2 and the reactor events, the imposters can snag an easy win. So, follow the arrows that appear on your map promptly in these situations and work with the rest of the crew to clear them quickly. Other sabotages include closing doors and turning off the lights. It's possible to fix the lights, but there's little that crewmates can do about the doors until they open again, apart from hoping they're not stuck in a room with an imposter. Number 2. Don't delay. Call an emergency meeting. If you believe you have uncovered valuable information about the imposters, you can call an emergency meeting at Among Us. Every map has an emergency button, and the host can modify the number of emergency meetings per game. Bear in mind that you can use this button to narrow down who the imposter might be as part of your Among Us strategy. The position of the button varies by map. It is in the cafeteria at the Skeld and MIRAHQ, while it is in the office at Polis. It takes a few seconds for the animation to finish after you interact with the emergency button, so if an imposter is lurking close by, you can get caught off guard. Sabotages involving O2, reactor, communications, and lights all disable crewmates' abilities to interact with the emergency button, and there's a cooldown following each emergency meeting. Number 3. Vote judiciously. It is just as necessary to escape suspicion as netting in Among Us crafty kills. Aggressively voting is the best way to raise eyebrows when there is no concrete proof against the player that you want out. In the next meeting, being the first one to cast a vote to evict someone or continuously forcing someone off to vote would almost definitely result in you being kicked out. Force the crewmates to miss voting someone off when in question, but still vote with the party if they are persuaded of someone's guilt. This might result in a fellow imposter being forced to cast a vote to fit into the crew. That could lower your chances of winning, but you're still alive at least. Number 4. Keep an eye on visual tasks. If you conduct a medbay or laboratory scan on all 3 maps, other crewmates will see it, thereby confirming that you are not an imposter. That's pretty well known, but you might not realize that other tasks will prove innocence or guilt, assuming in the game settings that visual tasks are turned on. The empty garbage or empty chute job in storage visibly causes trash to be vented out into space in the fan favorite map, the Skeld. The simple asteroids task in both the Skeld and Polis causes a perceptible laser to appear whenever you fire. Finally, a second player completes the mission. The prime shield's task in the skill triggers lights to turn on outside the ship or flicker. If a player is standing next to one of these responsibilities but nothing happens, they're most definitely trying to trick you. Or if you see their innocence as a visual sign, stick to the person you know you can trust like glue. Number 5. Avoid tunnel vision. Don't imagine your tasks in the tunnel, as this might put you at risk. More than often, Among Us is a data collection game, and there's a lot more to keep tabs on than just your crewmate assignments, depending on which map you're given. Every once in a while, be sure to make use of the cameras. It is not only useful for detecting the occasional murderer, but you can use this data to catch people in meetings. On poll list, as you pass, check the vitals to alert you of any deaths. If you think there's going to be a death as soon as it gives you the exact time frame, watching vital things can be nice. Be sure to stand far to the right. However, as you can be seen there by the camera, and it makes you a little better. Some maps will give you the tools to check up on how many people are in one room or who's passed where in the corridors. This info can make the difference between life and death, so don't ignore it. Number 6. Don't immediately report a body. Tips and tricks Among Us don't have to be revolutionary, and this may seem like an easy one, but it's not always the safest step to report a dead body instantly. It's best to search the place you found a body and occasionally, as crewmates typically have a lower vision range than the imposter, and they might still be at the scene of the crime, but from your point of view. Before you call in the body, make sure the area is fully checked, but do not delay too long as you don't want to look suspicious. Number 7. If you're an imposter, look busy. As the imposter, your mission is to sabotage and pick out crewmates. But to help you fit in with the rest of the team, you need to have backup tasks in mind. Choose a few things that you can say you've been working on between meetings, so when asked, you're able to reel them off with confidence. This is a strong Among Us tactic, but if you're good at lying, it also helps. No, while you can fake visual tasks, that's one way to admit that you're the imposter instantly. It also helps to go to the terminals and pause for a few seconds to make it look as though you are moving on with your assignments. Others will watch, and successful crewmates will highlight those in meetings that do not complete tasks. You can find ways in which you can create a compelling defense after you've played for a few hours, while seizing suitable moments to place the blame on others. Number 8. Watch out for cameras. The surveillance cameras are used by crewmates to inspect others. Although it is best to absolutely avoid killing in front of the cameras, often you just have a few seconds to take your chance. Thankfully, as it will show a red blinking light, you can tell when a security camera is working. Even if you found that someone is watching the area while killing out of a security camera's range, it's worth taking extra care to ensure that you go through the motions of usually entering and leaving a space.